Welcome back. 22nd race of a 25 race season. It's the Coca Cola 250 from Talladega Superspeedway. And we're getting close to that window of opportunity that they can make it to the end of this race if they would come to pit road one more time and fill these things full of Sunoco fuel. And it looks as though pit road closed, so they won't come this time.
The truck of Jamie Dix down on pit road, maybe smoking some fluid down there, and so they're seeing pulling them out of the way there, so they didn't want those trucks coming to pit road.
Well, tomorrow, immediately following the Cup race from Talladega, turn to speed for NASCAR Victory Lane. It expanded post-race coverage you can't get anywhere else. Watch NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, at its new time, immediately following the Cup race right here on Speed.
I think it's pretty incredible. You'll have the race winner, race-winning crew chief, car owner, everybody right there on Victory Lane.
They have pulled the 0-2 of Jamie Dix behind the wall. They will open up pit road. We'll take a quick break and watch what happens when we come back. Welcome back to Talladega, Alabama. A gorgeous day for racing if you've been able to figure out how to do the two-truck tandem. And we've seen it out of Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday. Everyone else is still scratching their heads of how are they doing it.
It's a gorgeous day anyway. I mean, let's make sure people know that. And it's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. If you're in the area and you want to see some great racing, come on out here to the Speedway and see these guys go around here at 200 miles an hour. You being one of those, Michael.
I cannot wait. It's a blast.
Looks as though pit road is open, and here they come. Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday leading the field onto pit road. Hermie Sadler.
Well, Rick, one of the drivers is Josh Richards. He has been going to school today on this two-truck tandem with his teammate Kyle Busch. He's getting no tires, Sunoco fuel only, and a track bar adjustment. He's a little bit free when Kyle pushes him into the corners. Ray?
Hermie, these Goodyear tires are very hard, and many of the teams believe they can go the distance on what they've got here. Ron Hornaday will give fuel only. He'll go out right with Mike Wallace. Hornaday ahead of him on pits right now. We saw a number of other guys down here getting fuel only. Everyone with plenty of tires left in the pits if they would choose to get them later on.
See, James Busher wins the battle off pit road by virtue of that first spot. You see the 51 right there, Josh Richards. He made a little contact as he was exiting the pits. I believe with the 93 truck of B.J. McLeod. Watch this now. That's a 76 truck of Ryan Hackett. Josh was ready to go, and Ryan was trying to get stopped in his pits.
Hey, Phil, you know, we've seen these two trucks of Kevin Harvick up front all day long. We come to pit road. They both get a little gas and pull out. But watch the positioning they do to ensure that they're first and third or second and fourth. Here they come. You see, one of them slows down. The other one, Hornaday slows down. Wallace takes him, and then Hornaday slowed down enough where Kyle Busch could get around him.
They want to be nose to tail.
They're nose to tail. It isn't just coincidental. They figured it out, how to make sure one truck's in front of the other. And then, by the way, I don't want to be right behind you. I need to be one more behind you. So these teams, this Harvick bunch has really thought this thing out, and they're making every move perfectly.
Aaron's lucky dog goes to the 60 of Cole Witt. So Witt will get another lap back. That'll put him on the lead lap here in Talladega. We will have 26 trucks on the lead lap. Busher still your leader.
Week, the Camping Series heads to the half-mile paperclip called Martinsville Speedway for its second trip of the season. Last April, Johnny Sauter went home with the grandfather clock, but now the championship race is ticking down. And it's time for some drivers to make some moves. Who will make the most of their time in Martinsville? Tune in to find out. Chris DeFota hosts the setup starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage, only on Speed.
And welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway as the field 2x2 once again getting ready for the restart. Our Just for Men hair color, Live Forward.
Going to have a little bit of an interloper in here next week at Martinsville. Denny Hamlin will drive the 18 truck of Kyle Busch Motorsports at Martinsville.
Yeah, and Last year's winner, Ron Hornaday, is going to try to continue this amazing streak he's on, the amazing run he's making toward this championship. We saw him hop on a streak like this a couple of years ago, Phil, win 5 in a row. That distanced himself and made him the champion of 2009. Can he pull it off again this year? It's getting tight. I like that word, tight.
Just for men, hair color, live forward. That's Martinsville. You would think that after Talladega you'd want to be able to catch your breath, but nope, the paperclip of Martinsville coming up next. And now the green flag about to come back out. 30 laps of racing to go. Green flag is in the air. Buscher on the inside, Dillon on the outside. Look at that 2-truck tandem just behind James Buscher. Hornaday just behind the 33 of Mike Wallace. Let's see if they're able to get by the 31 of James Buscher, if he stays on the bottom. And those two have to run the conventional style around this Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, right now they're blocked in, and if I'm Wallace, I want to lay off of Buscher enough to where Ron can get a hold of me and hopefully shoot up the middle. But you can see Austin Dillon pulling over and closing that door.
2 by 2. Max Pappas looking at the inside now. It's Austin Dillon out in front. Kyle Busch has jumped in behind him.
We talked about Austin Dillon not getting this 2-truck tandem worked out. Kyle Busch will work it out for him.
He'll work it out for him.
All Austin has to do is hold it straight, and Kyle will push him right along. This is getting good. Got a bunch of different people trying the 2-truck tandem. We can't seem to get the 2 and the 33 back together. You can see Hornaday and Mike Wallace running back 7th or 8th in line now.
Todd Bodine gets with his teammate, the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. They're hooked up, or trying to get hooked up, just above the 33 and the 2.
Remember the rule in NASCAR, you cannot change lanes until you get to the start-finish line. The 7 of Miguel Paludo has been posted. He will have to do a pass-through penalty on pit road because he changed lanes before he got to the start-finish line.
They got him hooked up, Phil.
Yep, they have some room in the middle, don't they?
Is there room for him?
I believe there's room for him. There they go.
Here comes Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday once again.
You look right behind him. Todd Bodine has a hold of his teammate Brendan Gaughan now.
How about Max Pappas doing a great job in that Geico Toyota, running 3rd right now, but he's got a couple tandems coming to his outside.
Pappas' best finish of 2011 was 10th at Martinsville earlier this year. Hermie.
Yeah, guys, went up and down pit road here, and most everybody says they can make it on fuel at least to the last lap. Maybe not a green right checker, but the 2 Kyle Busch Motorsports trucks, Josh Richards and Kyle Busch, both their trucks are 1 lap and 1/2 short. A lap and a half short. We'll have to see if they can stretch it to the end if it goes green.
And it's hard to save gas when you're pushing another truck, Phil. So Kyle Busch, his situation right there is going to be tough to save any. If you're the front truck, you can feather out of the gas and save a little bit of fuel. But if you're pushing, you're committed.
It looks like Austin, more than likely where he is right now, is saving a little fuel, as well as the 33 of Mike Wallace.
How disheartening would that be if you're Austin Dillon, where you've got Kyle Busch behind you and you think, okay, hey, this is going to be the 2-truck tandem. I think we're going to be able to go to the front. And flying by you on the outside is Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday. There's Miguel Paludo coming on to pit road to serve that penalty of changing lanes before he got to the start-finish line.
Remember, the 33 and the 2 have done this in the entire race. Austin right now is just really getting started to do it. He has one of the very best guys in the business behind him, going to help him learn.
Todd Bodine, we're riding along with him, looking forward to his teammate. And that's South Point 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Those 2 trucks had it going on, Rick. They had driven all the way up to the front, but now their 2-truck tandem has fallen apart.
They separated once again. They're the only ones running the outside line here of this pack.
Getting down to it. 26 to go this time by. And
the 3 and the 18 came unhooked there for just a moment. That'll cost them a lot of ground.
Todd Bodine back to the bumper of that 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Watch how much movement you see between this tandem and then when we watch Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday, very little movement, but these 2 moving around quite a bit on the racetrack.
Look at your passing people. You'll sacrifice a little bit of movement if you're making progress like that.
Lanes clear up front.
And quite honestly, right now,
nothing out front. Everything's on the bottom.
Brendan may not know any difference. He said, well, maybe this is how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
I haven't had a good tandem that it didn't move me around.
Nothing out front of him. It's all clear up there.
So it's working right now for Brendan Gaughan and Todd Bodine. They've made it through the tri-oval back to the stripe. Heading into turn number 1. Carmichael and Buscher, those two hooked up. They made an extremely fast lap.
Listen to the throttle, Rick. I told you don't save any gas when you're pushing. You hearing me?
Ooh.
They had to separate right there. Brendan Gaughan really out of shape.
Really loose there. Fortunately, Todd got off him just enough to let him get it straightened out.
You know, I like this truck of Grant Enfinger. He's been fast all day, right up the middle of things. Looks like maybe that Dakota Armstrong is trying to get a hold of the back of him. These two really are pretty sure they don't know what they're doing, and maybe they can do it together.
And they were former ARCA winners here, so they have some experience racing together at this racetrack.
They know the draft, they just don't know the pushing part of it, and I like this. I like these two trying to figure it out. Maybe they can get it going on. We saw Chris Fontaine at Daytona drive all the way to the front, taking advantage of a push from Kyle Busch. There's no reason why Dakota and Grant can't figure this out, and man, they're doing it.
Now we're starting to see more trucks go 2 by 2 around the racetrack.
Yeah, look who's coming to join the party battle for the lead. Kyle and Austin, like you said, Phil, got a few laps under his belt now. They've put some ground on, or gained some ground on our leaders.
Going to the high side. It's still the 33 of Mike Wallace, just in front of Hornaday.
In fact, that two-truck tandem there running third and fourth ran the fastest lap of the race last time by.
49.350 seconds.
We're getting up around 190.
195.
Yeah, in a truck. I just can't get over that.
And remember, the pole was 177.
Uh-oh.
Still right with you. He still got you.
A while back there for third and fourth.
Come on, got a little momentum here.
Now they've got the momentum. We just heard Andy Houston say, you've got the momentum. To the outside, this is the race for the lead. Wallace on the inside with Hornaday pushing. Austin Dillon on the outside, Kyle Busch pushing.
This is like that chicken and the egg thing. One of them is committed. I don't know how that goes, but this is a major deal for the guy running in the lead. No matter what he sees, he can't report the word. He can't report the word back to the guy behind him fast enough. You know, if something goes wrong, he can't get that button pushed and tell him what's wrong quick enough.
And right now, Kyle Busch has to rely on Austin Dillon and Austin Dillon's spotter to let them know where that other group is in front of them.
And then the pack behind them. So the top four have separated themselves, and the pack working behind. As you see the slower truck on the inside of Miguel Paludo. Almost a pick for Mike Wallace as they saw the three of Austin Dillon coming up to the inside.
You know, we saw this. This is a pretty interesting tandem. Kyle Busch helping Richard Childress' truck. There was a point in time this summer when
that didn't go so well.
Papa decided he would explain Kyle he didn't race properly.
Remember, when you get on this racetrack right here, you find whoever is willing to work with you and whoever's going to help your situation.
Is that second tandem there a perfect example of that?
Absolutely perfect. Strange bedfellows sometimes this kind of racing makes.
They've caught him, but they just can't figure out how to make the move around them. And you know, we see the three truck of Austin Dillon moving around a lot. That's dangerous when you get up beside another truck and they start moving around. You don't have as much margin for error.
This is the closest they've been to the lead on the outside. The 3 and the 18 trying to make the push around the 33 and 2. Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch just can't make it work. Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday stay in the top 2 spots.
And sometimes when you have air from another truck like that, it'll cause you to become on hook too.
Yeah, and you really want to try to side draft a little bit, Phil. You saw when they got to the corner, Austin went really high and they lost ground on him. If Austin could be comfortable with hanging his left front fender right on the side of Hornaday's truck, then that will give them the momentum, the side draft that they need. But see how far they go away?
Are those teammates on the left?
The drivers are working together on the right, and the crew chiefs are working together on the left. 2 opposing crew chiefs sitting on the same pit box right now.
That was Eric Phillips on the left talking to Danny Stockman here on Danny Stockman's pit box.
How about that? That's something you definitely don't see.
We'll work on passing him later. My temp's getting too hot chasing his ass.
There you go.
Okay,
so you just
message delivered right now.
talking about we can't pass him.
Well, the issue is, like I said, if Kyle could just stay over to the left, or excuse me, if Austin could stay over to the left a little bit. Oh, they came apart. The leaders came apart. That's going to give Austin Dillon the lead and a valuable championship point.
Clear all around, clear.
And by a good bit, too. It may take a while for them to get hooked back up and regain that momentum for Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday.
Mike Wallace has led 42 of the 75 laps complete. He will have the most laps led in this race. But who will get to victory lane first? That's the big question that's going to be answered right here on Speed.